Grammy Awards. No notoriety or controversy could take that away from her.
The Grammy goes to Amy Winehouse.
Saying it was just all about drugs.
Gifted singer Amy Winehouse found dead in her London home.
Amy Winehouse was an English singer and writer who was well known for her expressive, deep contralto voice. She released numerous hits and albums that made a worldwide impact, proving that she truly was an icon. Unfortunately, her life was cut short because of alcohol poisoning on July 23, 2011. Like any other celebrity, there was a lot of public discussion surrounding her death. She won numerous awards, including the Grammys and the MTV Europe Music Artist's Choice Award.
The Grammy goes to Amy Winehouse.
The most distinct features of Amy were her amplified hair and makeup. Regarding personal style, she preferred tank tops, low-slung jeans, polo shirts, and ballet slippers. In this video, we'll discover her life in detail. We'll explore her career and try to figure out what led to her death. What exactly happened? And could her life have been saved? Let's find out. Amy Winehouse Biography. Amy Winehouse was born in London on September 14, 1983. Daughter of Mitch Winehouse and Janice Seaton, she grew up in a Jewish family. She was enrolled in the Susie Earnshaw Theatre School when she turned 9. A year later, she formed a rap duo that she jokingly called the Little White Jewish Salt and Pepper. In 1995, she enrolled in Sylvia Young's drama school, from which she was expelled the following year for getting a nose piercing. She was given her first guitar at the age of 13 and began composing music 1 year later. At 16, she managed an audition with manager Nick Godwin, who was surprised to hear the young singer. She traveled to Miami with her new manager, Amy, to meet producer Salam Remy, who signed her to the Island Records label.
I did some demos and then she actually got signed afterwards.
Her first album, Frank, was released in 2003. It received positive reviews and was commercially successful in her native country. It went platinum, was nominated for the Mercury Music Awards, and also won an Ivor Novella Award for the single Stronger Than Me. Her second album, Back to Black, which was produced by Mark Ronson, was released in 2006. With her iconic song Rehab, she sold thousands of copies and was considered one of the most influential women of the 21st century. This album went triple platinum a few weeks after its presentation on February 14, 2007. She won a Brit Award in the category of Best British Artist. In June 2007, she was again nominated for the Mercury Prize. She also got 3 nominations for the 2007 MTV Video Music Awards. Her excess began to be evident. In January 2007, she appeared completely drunk on stage at the London Gay Club party and vomited at the end of the first song. Do you think this is the point where her substance abuse problems started? Let us know in the comments section below. In May of that year, she married her boyfriend in Miami, and in November she won the Artist's Choice Award at the MTV Europe Music Awards. On February 10, 2008, the 2008 Grammy Awards ceremony was held. Amy won 5 of the 6 awards for which she was nominated, including Best New Artist, Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Best Female Performance for Rehab, and Best Pop Vocal Album for Back to Black. Still, the singer could not attend the ceremony because the United States initially denied her a visa due to narcotics use and abuse. In July, she was admitted to a hospital due to pulmonary emphysema. In addition, a video was released where the singer was allegedly seen smoking crack. Days later, her record company announced that she would enter a detoxification center of her own volition to counteract her addiction. The singer participated in the Lisbon Rock in Rio Festival 3 festival in May 2008. Following a 30-minute wait and cheers from her supporters, the singer took the stage with a sad, slightly inebriated, and stumbling appearance. She couldn't even sing and ultimately had to cancel concerts, and her agency had to pay large amounts in compensation. In July 2009, a divorce suit was filed against her former husband, Blake Fielder Civil. That summer, she was acquitted of an accusation of injuries against a fan who approached her drunk and asked for an autograph around her neck, whom she rejected with an alleged punch. She was present at the opening ceremony in August 2010 that was conducted by Goodwill Zwelithini Kabakzulu, the Zulu King. Now you ask why we're mentioning that? Well, the singer, who had arrived completely drunk, fell asleep when the king spoke. Her own fans called the concert she gave in Belgrade on June 18, 2011 disastrous and scandalous. After starring in this embarrassing show, she had to postpone the remainder of her concerts. Do you know of any outrageous things she did? Let us know down in the comment section below. Amy Winehouse's family. When she was 9 years old, her parents separated, and nothing would be the same. Her father left home too soon, and her lack of parental affection would mark her forever.
And I remember so many Sinatra songs I knew before I'd even heard Sinatra sing them, because my dad always used to sing, always was singing.
Her mother worked long hours to make up for her absences and was unable to set limits or accompany her as Amy needed. They began to expel her from school, and she practically did what she wanted. My mother had children. She raised them practically alone because she was never there when my father was there. She was never up for important things. I'm not talking about taking us to school. I'm talking about at night when we misbehave. We said, "We won't go to bed." My father was never around to say, "Listen to your mother," and that's what we needed. He said he was working. Amy would reveal years later in an interview. She found refuge in his paternal grandmother, Cynthia, and her older brother, Alex, who taught her to play the guitar. Her music was always a place that kept her afloat. She composed for hours and captured all the pain that was sinking her in those scores. At the age of 10, she founded a rap band. At age 15, she began playing in London pubs and was a part of a female jazz band. Her boyfriend at the time, Tyler James, gave a demo of hers to a producer, and that's how Amy signed her first contract and began her professional career. Her days took on a dizzying pace. She began smoking weed and drinking alcohol excessively. At age 15, she confessed to her mother that she found an ideal way to diet: eat whatever she wanted and then throw it up. Yes, she was talking about bulimia. She was beginning a path towards self-destruction.
My greatest fear is probably dying with no one knowing of any contribution I'd ever made to creative music.
In 2006, the death of her grandmother left her devastated. At that time, she was already a star and needed to stop. Her father had reappeared to manage her career, and she asked him for time off for a vacation, but he filled her tours with million-dollar performances.
Amy didn't need to go to rehab at that point. Later on was a different story altogether.
As in so many other cases, the money-making machine could not be turned off, even if the artist ended up being crushed. And Amy, who felt imprisoned, could not escape that maze. Amy was the topic of several talk shows and documentaries. Although she was not performing, everyone was interested in what was going on in her life. In Amy, the Oscar-nominated documentary, directed by Asif Kapadia, she took aim at her father. This serial denier did not recognize his daughter's problems until quite late. He was also a main opponent of his daughter entering rehabilitation centers. He only reappeared in her life fascinated with the idea of being the father of the new star of the moment: consumption of drugs. Amy met Blake Fielder Civil in London 2003. Although they both had a partner at the time, they became inseparable. His love was like a drug. He introduced her to the consumption of crack and heroin and taught her to live without limits, and she, who was broken, was completely manipulated. This was the second man who would destroy her life. Their relationship lasted approximately 7 years.
I guess what interests me a lot is the relationship two people can have with each other.
On May 18th, 2007, they were married in a secret ceremony in Miami, but just a few days after the wedding, Blake Fielder Civil was arrested for having started a fight. His imprisonment for fights, robberies, and crimes with firearms became a constant. Although Amy gathered courage and entered a rehabilitation clinic, she really wanted to heal, start a family, and be a mother. They divorced in 2009. She spent a few months on an island to detox and composed new songs for her third album. She seemed more recovered, but she couldn't win the battle against alcohol. What do you think was the reason behind her behavior? Why couldn't she live without alcohol? Share your opinions in the comment section below. Death of Amy Winehouse, alone. With Blake imprisoned, her childhood friends distanced themselves from her, and her parents denied her problems. On July 23rd at midnight, she bid farewell to his bodyguard following months of harassments by the media, which chronicled her every move and canceled multiple performances due to her outbursts. 3 hours later, she texted a friend saying, "I will be here forever. How about you?" When the bodyguard arrived at her door at 10 in the morning, they heard nothing. This did not surprise them at all, nor did it at noon when they performed the same action. They went into the singer's room at 3 in the afternoon, worried that she was not responding. She had been dead for several hours. On the side of the bed, there were 3 empty vodka bottles. Toxicology reports showed that there were no traces of drugs in her body, only an excessive amount of alcohol. 4.16 grams per liter of blood. The limit before alcoholic coma was 3.5. There was nothing to do. The star was fading, and with it, her dreams. Everyone worshipped her. There were pictures of her everywhere. Her style and her music were adored everywhere. The rebellious girl of music became a legend, but Amy Winehouse just wanted to be loved. She just wanted peace in her life, which sadly she didn't get. What do you think about it? Was it her own actions, or did someone else set her up? On July 23rd, 2011, at the age of 27, Amy Winehouse was found dead in her apartment in the London neighborhood of Camden after suffering shock from excessive alcohol consumption after a period of abstinence. Amy Winehouse was a good soul, but her life events were what caused her death. She too joined the list of celebrities such as Steve Harwell, David Cassidy, Gary Moore, Oliver Reed, and countless others who lost their lives due to alcohol poisoning. Do you think if she had emotional support, she would have stopped abusing drugs and alcohol? Share your opinions down in the comments section below. On this channel, we cover all the famous celebrities who lost their lives too early. If you have any suggestions, let us know, and we'll make sure to make a video about them. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Take care, and goodbye.